Hello everyone, today I'm bringing you the first in a series of videos looking at private purchase desert boots used during the course of the first Gulf War, the 1990-91 Gulf War. Now the boots we're going to look at in this video come from a company called Roma's, and several of the different designs of boots we're going to look at also come from Roma's. I believe Roma's was the company manufacturing these at the time, and they still manufacture many of these designs of boots. So what we're looking at here are actually a modern pair of these, but nevertheless of a pattern which were used during the Gulf War by some troops who chose to purchase them privately to replace their normal black leather combat footwear prior to the introduction of the issue British Desert Boot. And of course the issue Desert Boot was in very short supply, so certain troops didn't get them right until the end of the conflict, or indeed just before they got on the plane to go back to Germany. So the purchase of private purchase desert boots was fairly common. Photographs show it to be fairly common, and we're going to have a look at one of these patterns in some detail now. So these are the boots we're going to talk about today, and these are the product of a company called Roma's. Now Roma's makes several different patterns of desert boot. This is one of them. We're going to talk about some of the other patterns as well in future videos. These are known basically as D-ring desert boots for obvious reasons. They use D-rings to secure the laces there. As you can see, 5 of those riveted in place. Quite a good element of the design, makes them very easy to lace up. And these were around at the time, this particular design, and I'll include a photograph here which I believe shows these in use. It's not the clearest photograph in the world, but it does seem to show this particular pattern of boot. Now there were similar patterns to these which appear to have been a little bit taller, still use the D-ring system. Not sure where they came from, who the manufacturer of those was, but this particular design from Roma's, presumably manufactured by Roma's at the time as well, were in use, and as I say, there are some photographs out there showing these in use. The design itself is a lot more comfortable than the Boots Combat High. You have a padded section around the ankle there. You can see the padding in there as well. Obviously they're lined with this quite a soft cloth, which is comfortable to wear. The tongue is also padded, softly padded there, and quite interesting in terms of the construction, the various features of the design there. You have a softer, thinner section there, which actually gives a bit of extra flex in the heel, which is quite nice. They're made of this suede leather, as you can see, this desert tan colour, and the sole here is also in a tan colour. You can see the tread itself is sort of a quasi-commando tread. I'm not sure how good that would be in sand, but a decent enough tread pattern anyway. Not sure how hard wearing these would be. See, they are quite cheap, and I believe they were cheap at the time, so within the price range of a soldier. But how rugged these would actually be in the field, I'm not sure. I've not worn them around a huge amount, but they are very comfortable. Obviously they haven't seen much use, this particular pair. As you can see, there's not much wear on the tread there. But they are, I would say, apart from being quite low, an ankle boot, they're more comfortable to wear than Boots Combat High. That's certainly true. And photographs do show boots of this pattern and other patterns produced by Roma's today. Whether Roma's was the company producing them back then, I'm not sure. But several of those different patterns were used in the Gulf, and this is one of them. Just have a quick look at the internal details if we pull the laces out of the way here. You can see we have a simple label in the tongue there. Again, these are modern production of these, so not necessarily accurate to what would be seen at the time, but you can see they're size 10, the leather symbol there and so forth, and what the different components are made from. And you can see in there we have a simple stamp RO, or turn this around here, it's a little bit clearer to see. RO in there. Otherwise there are no manufacturer's marks or anything on these, but they are a product of Roma's, as I say. And basically a comfortable alternative to the Boots Combat High. Now on a unit-to-unit basis, I'm not sure what the rules were regarding private purchase footwear in the Gulf. They certainly seem to be more common in certain units than in others. So again, if anyone could provide information regarding that, I'd be interested to know. I think the main disadvantage of these is that they are a low boot. They only come up sort of up to the top of the ankle here, just above the ankle bone, compared to a higher leg boot, which might have its advantages, but they are high enough to give some support and some comfort to the ankle. And as I say, more comfortable than Boots Combat High in the desert, that's for sure. So just one example there. of private purchase desert boots. As I say, these are readily available still, they're still manufactured. So I can actually recommend getting a pair just from a point of view of having a pair of boots. They're a very comfortable pair of boots and they aren't expensive. How hard wearing they would be in the long run, I can't say. But an interesting design, and as I say, again, photographs do show boots of this design, and some of the others we're going to look at were used, at least to some degree, by British troops during the course of the Gulf War. So I do hope you found it interesting looking at those. As I say, this is the first in a series of videos which will be looking at different patterns of desert boot which appear to have been privately purchased and worn in the Gulf in 1990-91. We have more examples from Romas, and also we'll have a pair from Saudi Arabia, Saudi-made boots to have a look at as well. We'll talk about those in future videos, of course, more in this series. If you found this interesting and you'd like to see more of the series, please do consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And whether you're newly subscribing or you've previously subscribed, please do make sure you hit the little bell, the notification button down below. That will alert you, of course, when I upload future videos. If you really like my uploads and you would like to support the channel, you can. Both Patreon and PayPal are linked down below. And as I always say, a huge thank you to everyone who supports the channel using those two methods. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you all very much indeed. If you'd like to follow the channel on social media, you can. Facebook, Instagram and Twitter are all linked down below. And if you'd like to get in touch but you don't really use social media, there is of course an email address in the description as well. That's everything for this video. So until next time, bye for now.